Hi guys, this is Siri from Siri Tutor Blogs. Today we are going to look into one of the important business analyst topic, which are artifacts. What do business analyst creates when he is on the project? What are the different artifacts that will help a business analyst to achieve its day-to-day activities? These are the artifacts: the sequence diagrams, use case diagrams, functional flow diagrams, derived sequence diagrams, and swim lane diagrams, dependency maps, data mapping, and process flow diagrams, process flow charts. So coming to sequence diagrams, let's get into the sequence diagrams. You have to understand the sequence diagrams, even though it has been created by the architects and the senior developers in the project. Um, the reason why is, when you understand the sequence diagrams, it's a technical system integration at a very high level the developers is going to create, and we have to understand this to in order to derive the swim lane diagrams from the sequence diagrams. And not only that, we have to if you don't understand the API calls, it's very difficult to determine what are the dependency APIs and what are the data mapping. Like, you can't find out the gaps if there are any. So you have to understand the sequence diagrams. So basically, the sequence diagrams is a UML diagram, and it represents in a two-dimensional format. So all the vertical fields contains all the actors, like the payer, payee, the bank, and the payment platform, the acquirer companies, and all the actors will be determined in the vertical format. And in the horizontal format, the API service calls, API method calls are all determined. So basically, it shows how the system is integrated and interacted between the systems, APIs, and system and services. And it also shows you the order of execution, the time sequence, and how the request and response flows. So basically, sequence diagrams is basically for the API execution. It could be API execution or for non API execution. So that is how it is going to be. So let's get started in looking into one of the sequence diagrams. The sequence diagram that we are seeing here, this is basically, it is telling a story that a customer is making a initial payment. Let's see, like this. Yeah, the customer is making an initial payment to the e-commerce platform, which is this is where the fintech is going to reside in this platform. And then he's going to make a payment gateway, and the payment gateway in turn calls the bank service APIs. So if you would see this as a customer, I can make I can make a payment from any grocery store, and what we are seeing is a synchronous message from the customer to e-commerce platform. And here we are seeing a synchronous message. So I just want to give you a small introduction about synchronous and asynchronous message. So a synchronous message is where the sender is going to wait for the immediate response, that that it is ideal for the real time operations, like payment authorization or login authentication or balance check or fraud check. These kind of things will happen, and the response will be in within milliseconds. The sender will not wait for the immediate response. But whereas asynchronous, the asynchronous communication is like that the sender has to wait for the response, and the process will happen later in the background. And it is ideal for the operations, like the payment processes, or the settlement process, and the and the batch runs, or messaging like the emails or SMS, sending an email, sending an SMS, um, and the audit logging and report generation. These are all will be done later. So if I have to give you one example, as a customer, if you are going to a grocery store, you buy some groceries by swapping your card. The card payment will be done in fraction of seconds. That is what I meant to say as synchronous communication means. All the payment authorization, authentications, the checks, the payment checks, if either your account has enough balance or not, all these things happens in milliseconds. That is done through synchronous messaging, whereas asynchronous messaging is something like, it need not be, see, for knowing what the card transactions, what are the my card transaction history, those will not be appeared immediately after when you purchase your groceries. You cannot go into your city or mastercard account and verify it whether the transaction is being appeared. It will take some few hours to appear there, right? So that is asynchronous. So coming back to this flow, what so as a customer, you're going to do a purchase, and he'll going to initiate payment. Initial payment, he is going to initiate a call first to the fintech platform. This is where the fintech platform is going to be here. And the grocery store, maybe you can say any Indian grocery or Walmart, Costco, Best Buy, anything will be held here. And the fintech is going to be here in this platform. The fintech is going to collect all the information like the customer IDs, the mid from which merchant is the customer is making the payment, the mid IDs. It is called, every merchant will be designated with the identification number, which is called mids, me- merchant IDs. And what is the terminal he's accessing it from, like the POS terminals, like point of sale terminal will be there, right, for swapping the card. So what is that terminal ID, and what is the products he's using it, what is the product IDs, SKU IDs, all this information like the amount, currencies, timestamp, status. The status is going to be first, it is going to be initiated or open. And status, as the process moves from left to right, it changes from process initiated to processing, then to pending, and then to approved or decline, and then complete, and close. The processes also will be submitted in from this end to here. And as a fintech, it will send initiate a API request to the send payment details to the payment gateways. In this payment gateways, they will be card holders. The card network will be there, like the card networks are Visa, Mastercard, Discovery, American Express. So so many cards are there, right? So it has to, based on the customer's input here, it will consolidate all the input values, and then it will finally routes to the correct the card network gateway. If it is Discovery, it will send it to the Discovery payment gateway channel. And there they are going to they're going to verify the authentication and authorization of the card. Is this card a valid card? All these things will be checked here. And later on, these things will happen in a synchronous way within fraction of seconds. And this gateway is going to send the request to the whatever, if the card is connected to Bank of America or Wells Fargo or UCICI bank, or any kind of Indian bank, it's going to send the request to the bank, and then the bank is going to validate your transaction amount, if you have enough balance in your account, enough money in your account, then it will going to approve or decline based on the availability of the funds in your account. And it will send out, see, it is active, it is sending an authorized payment, it's initiating the authorized payment API here, and it is sending a approve payment. That means it's approved, there are enough funds, and then it the that information will be forwarded in the form of a notification payment success, and then it later on it gets sent to the customer. So as I told you, it is in the two-dimensional format where all the these are called as the actors, the customers, e-commerce platform, payment gateway, all these things. And in a the horizontal way, we are making all API calls here to different platforms. So this is one of the one of the sequence diagrams. I hope you understand that. The another one is this. Some sequence diagrams will look like this also. So just to give you idea of how the different kind of sequence diagrams look. So here also, if you take a look, like how can you determine if it is a sequence diagram? See, the actors are in the horizontal section, the user, mobile app, mobile banking app, the bank. Actors are in the horizontal, and yeah, not horizontal, sorry, vertical. And in the horizontal, we are making calls to different services. So as a user, here we are selecting a transfer. So this scenario is something like he is trying to transfer some funds to the some destination to some user. So that is the scenario we are going to look into now. So here he's going to select a transfer fund options in the mobile banking app that he had in the phone. Okay, and then once he clicks on that transfer fund option, the response from the mobile app is going to be, it is going to show another ua called ui functionality, which is called as, let me expand this a little. Okay, it's going to send a response to the user asking for the list of user accounts. So which account do you want to transfer from? Is it a NRI account or the personal account, or there will be different accounts, right? Savings account, which account do you want to select? It's asking. Then user is going to select the account to transfer the form, and then it's going to give you the transfer form. uh, s- um, and here the user is going to enter the recipient account information, the transfer amount, everything, all the some IDs and uh, universal UCID, or some IDs will be there, international or national, if you're trying to transfer to some other account, right? So all this information the user is going to is going to enter here, and it will be passed on to the application, the mobile app. This mobile app is going to validate the receipt account info and everything, so it will send this request back to the bank. So we there is another layer, two more layers has to be there, but in this diagram we are not seeing it. It means it is a very high level sequence diagram. So collecting all the information from the user, it is sending all the information to the bank, so see, there is a shortcut things where few of the operations were missing here, so it's very high level. So as a bank, what it does is it validates the receipt account info and user account balance, and then it will respond the result back validating, and detect the funds from the amount from the user, and then sends out a confirmation success transfer, and that message is forwarded to the confirmation message is forwarded with the transaction details and with the receipt to the end user. This is how this sequence diagram is being defined. Now let's look at one more sequence diagram. This is a API calls. So for this API calls, this is a very interesting one. I just wanted to share with you guys. See, again, in this API request calls, also request response calls, the actors are at the uh, vertically they are defined, and horizontally all these method calls are defined. Okay, all the green lines are, which means the green lines are HTTP get, the yellow lines are HTTP post, and whatever the blue lines which are coming towards the pair, it's a HTTP response. Okay. So let me explain you. Let me do one thing. Let me. How can I? Okay. That's fine. So the customer will open a wallet here and taps the pay. See, what happens is the customer, the payer is nothing but a customer, the end user who is going to use the wallet application to pay the paid for the products. Okay, and he is going to, so when he collects all the products in the grocery store, he's going to go to the checkout store, right? And while he is at the POS system, point of sale system, to swap the card, instead of card he's using a wallet, so wallet payment application. So he'll say, I want to pay for these products for 600 euros. And so the first the so this wallet is instantiating the payment method, which hits the payee, the merchant, the shop holder, it can be a Costco, Best Buy, or anything. It will instantiate the payment, and the, say like the Walmart will receive this. So when he so this is how it is going to be. The customer opens the wallet and pays pay. So it goes from wallet to the merchant. So this is the API call that it's going to send initially, that customer wants to buy these products. There are more, there are more request parameters here, but for our convenience and for our simple understanding, I just added two. There will be more, like what are the product numbers, SKU IDs, and a lot of even in get request also, there will be uh, the encrypted forms will be there. So it is a big URL will be sent with a lot of request parameters. And then when it forms this URL, it will send it across to the Walmart, and Walmart sends a response, authorized request details to wallet. It will say, okay, you want to purchase this, okay, can you give me authorization to for paying this, because that is the, this was initiated by the app, it's not initiated by the user, right? It is again sending a response with the request type as authorization required. Then the wallet will show the user that we need authorization from you, and these are the saved cards. I have Visa, Discovery, Amex, and whatever the cards, these are the cards, please select. Then as a user, he's going to enter all the credentials here and enter his face ID, the PIN, and the credit card information he's going to select, and he'll authorize. That authorization again goes to the it will be sent here only in the wallet app only. She is going to make all the selections for the authorizing, and that authorization is sent to the Walmart. So if you look into this, the customer will select this, right, and he'll going to approve entering the PIN and everything. And in a post call request, the payload will look very big. Actually, for first just our convenience, I put small, and this is the request URL, the post request URL, and the payload is going to be like this. And Walmart is going to send that payment to Now the see Walmart is going to receive that authorization request, okay, authorization response, and it is going to send to the payment network. Again, there are so many external API service calls will be there here. It's just here it is just return payment network. It will be going to the fintech payment platform first, and from there it will reach all acquirer card networks. From there, whatever is the correct card network, it will redirect the API calls there. And from that card network, uh, it will redirect the calls to the banking services. The banking service is going to make do the background processing, verification checks like authorization, authentication, compliance, risk checks, and balance check, especially to if the transaction, to process this transaction, he does the accountant has the enough funds or not. And then it will and then it's going to then it's going to approve. Once it is approved, see, it's sending to payment network. So all this information it will send the tokenized, the payment token, the authorization and authentication details of the user. All these things will be tokenized, like encrypted. It's a big payload with a big request URLs and response URLs we will going to see in the real time IT sector when you are working with the real applications. Okay, and the call goes to the external payments and the card, like the card network service, for validation of card authorization and authentication. And that card in turn will again call to the banking service and banking service will determine if there are enough funds. And then the merchant will get see enough funds, and after that the from bank again it will go back to the card network. From card network it will go back to the merchant, the response. It gets the success or failure message if the funds are available in the customer's account. Okay, then the status could be either of all these things, like during it could be approved, declined, pending, processing. And the response, see, based on the API calls, when you make any post or get or anything, the responses, if it is like 200, it means a success. 201 will also be there. I think based on 203 it's updated. 205 to all the 200 series are success, but it varies. Like if it is 203 which is updated, there are different CRUD operations like create, read, update and delete. So each CRUD operations, if it is successful, is assigned with a different 200 series. Okay, 203 is updated, 205 is deleted, 202 is retry, like that it will be there. And 500 series is server errors. 400 is the bad request. 40, like 403 is forbidden. 401 is bad request. Like that, different error codes will be there. So based on that error codes, we have to make sure whatever we are doing is coming correctly or not, based on these error codes and based on the response types. Okay, and then the merchant is going to send the result back to the wallet. In the meanwhile, wallet is going to do a pooling, like it will continuously ask for the receipt. Do you have the receipt? Like by this by sending this URL, get API URL. Okay, and finally it will when it receives the receipt, it's going to it knows it's the transaction is completely done, the status is completed. Okay, successfully completed. So these are the sequence diagrams that the developers are going to give you, the developers or architects are going to give you And you have to understand and you have to derive swim lane diagrams and other derived sequence diagrams out of this. So these swim lane or derived sequence diagrams will be created by us based on these diagrams. Okay. And we have to mix it. Those diagrams will show both business and the functional flow. So it is not too technical, but it is little bit technical for the developers to understand how the business have to be flown. Okay, so in those diagrams we won't see customers, or we will going to see all the business terms there, and there won't be any calls for the APIs in those diagrams. So in our I hope you like my video. In our next blog we are going to continue with the rest of the diagrams and flow charts and data mapping. um, Please if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and leave a comment if you have questions. I can respond to you in the comments or make another video based on your question. Thank you and take care. Bye.